Hello and welcome to our third tutorial. Our first two tutorials, the first one showed you how to get your students onto Google Classroom. The next one taught you how to get onto Google Classroom and how to create a class. And now for you as a teacher, we are going to show you now that you have your classes made, how to assign assignments to your students. So that you can see my in Google Classroom. We could type it up there or we could type it down here, but again when we type it up here it's going to type it in to the address bar anyway, so that's why I just go up there to Google Classroom. Press enter. We're going to then go to Introducing Classroom for Google Apps. You'll say go to Classroom. Make sure you're signed in as yourself. And so we're just going to look at this test class right here that we have, but you would go into your actual class where you want to assign some assignments. So now we see that we have this bar right down here, share with your class, and we have announcement and assignment. So let's look at the difference between these two real quick. So if I click on announcement, this is something I just want to tell my students about. They're not going to turn it in for a grade. It's just something I want them to know about. So I could, if I click on this little paper clip, I could come in here and it's going to take me to my computer. So I can come into my computer and I can look for my files. So if I have a document or something that I want my students to be able to see, maybe I want them to have the command shortcuts for the MacBook. So I just come in, click on that, and now we see that's here, but it wants a title up here. So I'm going to just say that these are command shortcuts. Oops, shortcuts for the MacBook. And now that I have that typed in, I'm just going to click on Post. So now when my students log in and go to my class, they're going to see the command shortcuts for MacBook, and they can click on this and get to that document anytime they want to get to that document. They don't have to search all over for it. It's right there for them. So that's an announcement. Now that was with a little paper clip under announcements. You can also pull up any documents off of Google Drive. You can also add a YouTube video by clicking this button, or you can attach a link. So for instance, if you wanted your students to be able to go to FunBrain. If you wanted your students to be able to go to FunBrain, but you don't want to have them to have to keep typing in every little thing. Or let's say there's a particular game that you want them to play. For instance, maybe you want them to do this story right here. You're just going to copy that link and then come back into your Google Classroom and you're going to click where it says link. And you're just going to paste that link in here. And then you're going to tell them what this link is for. And so it's for the life of Zarf that you want them to read. And again, this is just an example. Life of Zarf. And now you can click Post. And now your students will have access to that link. They'll know right where they're supposed to go for that announcement. Again, it's nothing they have to turn in, but you want them to have an easy, quick link to get to the assignment you're wanting them to do. Now let's say you wanted to add more to this. You can come to where those three dots are and you can edit this. And you could come up here and say Life of Zarf. And then say, or actually, why don't we do this? We can say directions so that the kids know what to do with this when they see it. Please read the Life of Zarf and blah, 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 whatever it is you want them to do with that. Okay? And so there you go. Now it's right there for your students to be able to access. All they have to do when they come in is just click right there to get to that assignment. That announcement. Again, that's just an announcement. They won't turn it in. It can't be graded, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now, If you want to give a graded assignment, this is where you actually click on assignment. All right, so now we're going to title the assignment, and let's just say reading essay. So maybe you want them to write an essay on whatever book it is that they're reading right now. You'd put your description in here if you have a description for them. You can choose what date you want this assignment due. So maybe you want it due on that Friday. And you can even add what time you want the assignment due by. And what that will do is if a student hasn't turned it in by that time, if you say it has to be turned in by 12:30, if they haven't turned it in by 12:30, they won't be able to turn it in. And so you as the teacher will get to control that. So again with this, you can either click to upload a file, click here to get an item from Google Drive, click here to add a YouTube video, or click here to attach a link. Personally, I think the very best thing for you to do is to always have your assignments in Google Drive. So if we haven't made this assignment in Google Drive yet, we need to do that. So we want to make sure to go to Google Drive, and if we haven't made that assignment, and I know all this is convoluted, so we're going to do like this. Get rid of some of that. All right, so we're going to go up to Create, and since they're writing an essay, they're going to need a document, because that's just like Microsoft Word or Pages. And we're going to click on that document. First thing we want to do is title the document, because it's untitled right now. We'll just name it whatever the assignment is. It's a reading essay. And so here you might want to put in directions and write an essay about and blah, 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 blah. So give them those directions. The students will simply space down and start typing. So that now that we have that assignment made, we have to put it into our Google Classroom. So I'm going to just close out. Notice I didn't save anything at all. I just closed out, and that's okay. I don't have to save anything because there it is right there. Nothing's changed. It's all good. It's there. With Google, you don't have to save anything. So now we're going to go back to our classroom in Google Class, and we're going to click on Google Drive, because that's where the assignment is that we just made. And we named that assignment Reading Essay. So we just type in the name of that, and there's our reading essay. We're going to click on that. Now we have some choices. Do we want the student to just be able to look at the reading essay? No, because we're actually wanting them to type on this. If we choose this one, students can edit file. What that means is every single kid in your class will all be typing on this one document. That is a nightmare. I wouldn't pick that. I would do that only for very small groups. Probably, most likely, what you would like for your kids to do is to make a copy for each student. And I'll show you what this looks like in just a minute. So we're going to make a copy for each student. And now we're going to click Assign. All right, and so now we see I have 3 students in my class. 3 students have not done this yet. As the students access this and do it, they'll show up over here. Now, I can come in here, go into my classroom, and this assignment was done under my test class. So I need to come in here where my test class is, and there's my test class, and here's the reading essay. Now none of my students have signed in yet and gotten onto this, so I can't see their assignment yet. But what I can do is show you where I've done this with another class. And here is what I've done with another class, and you can see that right here I can see each person's paper that I've given to them. I can't see their names in that view, so I can come up here to the little lines and switch to list view. And so right here I can see each person's name. So if I wanted to see what this person has done or what they've written, I can simply click on their paper, and then I can see what it is they've done. I have the title up here as well. It's the title I want, not some crazy title the kids will come up with. And it automatically attaches their name to the assignment. So I no longer have to ask for, all right, guys, I've got a paper with nobody's name on it. Whose name is this? I always have this up here. Now, to be able to see in thumbnail view like this, either in list view or to see their papers in thumbnail views, I have to have made my assignment inside Google Drive. So again, if I had come underneath and uploaded something from Pages or from Microsoft Word, I'm not going to have the luxury of being able to see what the kids are doing in real time. The other thing I won't be able to do if I don't use Google Drive to make my assignments is I will not be able to comment to my students. I won't be able to come in here and tell them, great job, or I won't be able to come in here and highlight something that they've written and then come up here and comment and say, you have 2 grammar errors here, please correct. Okay, I won't be able to do that and so I can click comment, and then the student will see what I highlighted and the message I'm telling them. Once I've resolved that issue, or once they fix the issue, I can click resolve, and that gets rid of the comment. But what that enables me to do is have a two-way conversation with my students. They can also comment back to my comment, and so again, it's a win-win all the way around when using Google Classroom in combination with Google Drive. So the difference, assignments, you have a due date of what time that assignment is due, and you have upcoming assignments that show due on September 12th is that reading essay. I want to make sure I get that done, so that highlights and notifies your kids that they have an assignment coming up that is due. The announcements, again, no due date, no assignment time, no way to grade the assignment, but it gets your kids to a link or to a document that you want them to be able to simply see or to look at. All right, so I'm hoping that that is clear. Sometimes you think something's clear and then it's just clear as mud. So if you have any questions, you know where you can reach me. And I look forward to working with your classes in Google Classroom. Thank you.